What's going on, everybody? B. Scott, I'm here with
Godzilla
and
Third wheel.
And on today's show, we got your NFC West takeaways from Week 1. It was in the books. All 4 teams got the victory, so that's good. And then we're going to be looking at the Thursday night football matchup between the New York Football Giants and the Washington Football Team. So keep it locked loaded right here at the first 4 downs.
You already know. Drop the logo.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. As I mentioned in the preview, we're going to go over the NFC West. A couple takeaways from Week 1, and then we'll get to the Thursday night football matchup. But before we get to today's content, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, all that good stuff. Comment, drop a comment. If you got an argument that you want to argue with us, obviously, about the NFC West and our takeaways, drop in the comment section. We'll be glad to answer your questions or whatever you want to know. So let's look at the NFC West. We can start with the San Francisco 49ers. This is the takeaway. Obviously, they played the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions don't look good as a football team overall. Their offense, surprisingly, was okay, was able to move the football. I don't know if that was necessarily due to the backup defense being in there. Obviously, they lost their cornerback. So Shanahan, after the game, talked about them pulling some of their starters just to be safe. And the Lions, they came back. They almost came back to win, to be honest. That game came down to a 4th down play.
Yeah, if you're better like me, we was looking at the spread, how it rise right before game time, and we get to the end, it's like, oh my God, we in 8 points. This is where we took it at. And like, are you serious? And they get all the way almost to the red zone. I'm like, this is, I'm like sitting there on the edge of my seat screaming or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that offense for the Detroit Lions are very capable. But, we'll talk about that in another show, probably in the matchups. But the San Francisco 49ers, are they for real? I mean, we seen this defense. They got a lot of injuries, and everything is happening to them again like that.
Yes.
That happened last week.
Yeah.
Veretta's already out for the season. You got Raheem Mostert. I mean, did they really even have Raheem Mostert in the game?
No.
I didn't see him take a snap, so it is what it is. I mean, what are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? We didn't see Brandon Ayuk on no catches at all. You got Debo exploded. We expected that to happen. We predicted Debo to be that guy because we know what he is, a yak monster.
Yep.
Kittle was quiet in this matchup against the Detroit Lions, so I wonder that. I just wonder them as a whole. Are they really going to be able to compete in this division? And I'm not really so sure. I mean, you take in consideration what the other teams did in this division on Week 1. I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really, at this point, do not believe in the Niners as being a probably even a second team in this division. You know what I'm saying? Competing. I really don't. Hopefully down the stretch, it gets a little bit better, but them already starting to hit this injury bug, I'm afraid of it.
Yeah, of course. I'll tell you right now that before the season started, I was huge on the San Francisco 49ers. I had them second in this division, right behind the Rams. And now I'm, the way the Arizona Cardinals looked on defense, the way the Seattle offense just was absolutely perfect in that game, pretty much destroyed a Colts defense that we know is pretty good. You know what the Rams did.
Yeah.
They look outstanding, period. Both sides of the ball. The Niners, yes, they're already dealing with injuries. So they're probably going to end up finishing the worst in the division. I still think this whole division could finish above 500, though.
Or, there's a lot of things that's going on breathing down their back. I mean, this is the Trey area now. Hopefully we get to see Trey sooner than later because it doesn't look like Jimmy Garoppolo could extend them to be the top in this division. I really don't see it.
Yeah, of course. And I'll tell you right now, this is a test this week against a Philly team that actually played very well.
Philly going to win.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
That's all right. So, the 49ers, I don't know. I got a lot of question marks. That's all I'm going to say. I worry about them a little bit.
Yeah.
So, the next team we'll talk about, Arizona Cardinals. The defense was unreal. Plain and simple. 6 sacks on Ryan Tannehill. I want to say 2 or 3 takeaways. Made the Tennessee Titans look bad. Look like a bad football team. Now, yes, they probably had
some early.
I get it. They probably had some rust. I mean, you got to think about it. Julio Jones missed a lot of time. A.J. Brown missed pretty much the entire time of preseason, training camp, all that stuff. So, and Ryan Tannehill didn't play a lot.
But Chandler Jones did not look like he missed no time at all.
No.
That man came in there and did what he did. And, that accusation of J.J. Watt just solidifies that other side of that line to where last year we seen Golden and they, doing all the sacks that they did. You know what I'm saying? Breaking records. You got Budda Baker and all these guys in the secondary in the secondary to shut it down. You know what I mean? These are one of these new hybrid defenses with Isaiah Simmons. I mean, they for real. I think the whole team in particular for real. You look at Rondale Moore. that connection is only going to get better. He looks
Yes.
very explosive on these screens that they're shooting. And then you got Hopkins be able to take the top off and get these touchdowns. Not to mention Christian Kirk. It extends him and his capability to what he can do. Because last year, the problem was he was like just dropping balls everywhere. You know what I mean? So when you got these kind of targets, and A.J. Green, let's not forget about him. When you got these kind of targets, it just leaves guys that are real playmakers open. And
Yep.
you don't really need the tight end spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Kyler is in position to be the MVP in this league. We'll see. But, man, I think these Arizona Cardinals are for real. Now, they did start off hot last year, so we'll see if they fade off a little bit. But Arizona early on right now, I'm loving them.
Yeah, I think they're going to be outstanding. I'm actually, it's kind of scary how good they played in week 1. AJ Green, in my opinion, I think it's time for him to just pick up the clipboard, pull a Juwan Howard and turn into a coach.
Yeah, for
but,
real.
For real, because Rondale Moore looks outstanding. Christian Kirk, he can make plays, especially on the deep ball. So, Arizona, great football team overall, and I think the sky's the limit. Period.
They might steal the division.
Yeah. So, we can look at the next team. Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Russ just cooked the Indianapolis Colts, plain and simple. 4 touchdowns. Made it look easy, to be honest. They just made that game look easy.
And that's not a scrub defense going against Indy. So, the biggest thing with them last year was like they was getting in the shootouts and they couldn't really adjust on the football. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't go a different way. They couldn't have no movement, nothing like that. Now you look at them last year going from a 34% play action rate to this year, 54. I mean, and Russell puts up 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, easy.
You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy for Diddy Kong and, DK to just – the future for them is very great. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We got MVP Russ. Maybe he could do it this year. You know what I mean? Waldron, the OC there, I just love that move. And Chris Carson looked like a guy that is going to finish in the top 10 of running backs. You know what I mean? He got the receptions, 91 yards rushing on the ground against Darius Leonard and the Indianapolis Colts. So what more can you ask for in an offense? I mean,
Yes.
they executed completely perfectly.
Yes, absolutely. Super efficient. Russell Wilson, if he's got to carry the load, he can do that. We've seen him do it. So, Seattle Seahawks, they're just right there where they were last season. I think their defense improved.
Yeah, they
the
played
defensive front looks good. The secondary starting to sew up some of those holes. I think they'll be just fine this season and going to be fighting for the division.
I think the problem was they got rid of the cornerback with one hand.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You need 2 at least.
Sometimes. On to the next team. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams. Plain and simple, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Unreal. 350 passing yards, made it look easy.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns. Destroyed the Chicago Bears, in my opinion. David Montgomery played well in that game for Chicago. I really like him. Honestly, he's gotten better every year. But Darrell Henderson looked good. Deshaun Jackson made it through a whole game without getting hurt.
Yeah, for real.
Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, both these guys played good. Van Jefferson,
He got in the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I look at it, the defense wasn't exactly elite like we seen it last year, but this is week 1, and there's an extra game in this season. So it's like, look at this as an extended preseason where all the starters played. You know what I mean? Darrell Henderson looked good. You look at it like this. You know what I'm saying? He had a 94% snap share in this offense week 1 against Chicago Bears. They stopping everybody. So in all the plus matchups that he has on the season, you can expect barbecue chicken week in, week out. I think he's going to be in the top 15 backs every single week. Matthew Stafford, I mean, is just that cherry on top. You know what I mean? He looks phenomenal with the targets that he has over there. I mean, this is easily the number 2 team behind Tampa Bay and probably could really, really stretch it out and give them a run for their money in the route to the Super Bowl this year. I like the LA Rams a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay, they got a great round of wide receivers, period.
Yeah.
They got 3 absolute great wide receivers. But we know the Rams, they got one of the most elite secondaries in all of football.
Yeah, period.
So with Jalen Ramsey, arguably one of the best cover corners in football. So
And Aaron Donald got his sack in there too. You know what I mean? So
he made it happen.
yeah.
So yeah, Los Angeles Rams still favorites for me
Yeah.
in the NFC West. But once again, I think the NFC West is probably all going to finish over 500 and be the toughest division in football.
Except for San Francisco.
Okay. So, well, that's all right. So we'll go ahead. We'll get into the Thursday night football matchup. We got the New York Giants on the road against the Washington football team. This game is going to be very low scoring. Obviously, the over-under, I looked, it was 40.5.
It's a screaming field goal game.
Yeah, of course. So, I really think Antonio Gibson is going to have some work here. I think last week, we were excited because you saw the snap share that he got, the opportunity share in that offense. Terry McLaurin, now that Taylor Heineke is the quarterback, is he going to be able to continue to maintain his production? And with Logan Thomas there, and I get it, the secondary of the New York Giants is good.
Yeah.
Adoree Jackson, Bradbury, Logan Ryan, you know what I mean? So this is going to be a tough game, in my opinion, for Washington football team to win at home. But I think if Gibson can get his, and albeit last season, really struggled against these Giants, both games, carried under 10 times. So I think Gibson has, I can see a path in which Antonio Gibson can lead this team to victory by running the football. And one of these guys getting a touchdown through the air. Taylor Heineke's got to be efficient, not make mistakes. The Giants, Daniel Jones is the quarterback. He's got a lot of weapons.
It's turnover season, though.
I know.
But here's the thing, like you said, Antonio Gibson, he had 10 touches like in both games last year or whatever. I mean, 10 carries or whatever.
Yeah.
But they lost both of those games. And
true.
this is the first division game of the NFC East where, Washington did, edge out everybody else and make the playoffs at 9-7. I think I called that. But, you know what I'm saying, moving on. In this game, I really want to say the victor will be the guys with the most offensive talent. Now, Daniel Jones, yes, he is a turnover machine. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And I think he's going to be a turnover machine in this one. But you got balls that you could throw up to Slayton, Kenny Golladay. Evan Ingram is out, so you got Shepard as a go-to target. Can they slow this down? I don't think that Saquon is going to be a factor in this game. If he plays at all, I think that they've been going a little bit light on him, knowing that they turned around from week 1 to going to Thursday Night Football against this team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if Devontae Booker could handle this load for this team. You know what I mean? On the other side, you got Washington, Antonio Gibson, McKissick. I see both of these guys having a big day. Can Heineke just get rid of the ball when he gets in trouble?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing about Heineke is like he tries to extend out of the pocket more than he really needs to. But, having a mobile quarterback is a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would be a good thing for a guy like Terry McLaurin, you know what I'm saying? Be able to extend and, get these passes thrown to him. But outside of that, what do they got? You know what I'm saying? They got Logan Thomas that can hit him really in the gut. But when you got Bradbury, Logan Ryan, Jabril Peppers, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's a lot of guys right there to, just kill your yak. So I really think that at the end of the day, the Giants will go away and come away with this football game.
Okay. Yeah. So
I got a low scoring, probably it's 40.5.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm gonna call it 17-20 Giants.
Okay. I'm okay with that score. I'm pretty close on to that. I think the Washington football team, this is almost, in my opinion, a must-win for a team that won the division last season, has high aspirations to do better this season.
Yeah.
And they go down 0-2 here. It's going to be pretty tough. Dallas is looking good.
Yeah,
period. Their defense looks improved, and the offense is good. Philly looks great. The Giants, they played okay last week. Not horrible, but not great. Yeah. Saquon is only going to get healthier, I hope, throughout the season, so that's going to bode well for that offense. So I think Washington football team, it's almost a must-win. I get it, it's only week 2, but I think it's a very important win for the Washington football team.
Knowing that coaching staff don't really know what they're doing over there with the New York Giants, the New York football Giants, they might just unleash Saquon this week.
I know.
You never know.
That would be incredible, to be honest. What I mean? I'm going to take the Washington football team. In a game like the New England Patriots, I'm going to say 20-17 Washington football team.
Okay, so we're flipping.
We got it flipped.
All right.
So that's it. That's the Thursday night matchup. Went over the NFC West, albeit was ridiculous strong through week 1. We'll see in the future. So, once again, if you like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, all that good stuff. Comment. Drop us a comment. If there was something you heard that you didn't like, let us know. We'll be glad to argue with you. No problems. So for the first 4 downs, it's been B. Scott.
G.O.D.
And
Third Wheel.
And we'll be back Saturday with the first uncut matchup video of the year. See you then.